sir. Oh, there's some youngins inside acting very unadult-like, so I figured I'd come out here to my vehicle and get myself a few minutes away from them. Pretended to put in my earphones just in case. Well, they kept on laughing and giggling and staring back at me and laughing and giggling and staring back at me. And I don't know what was so dang funny, but they certainly seemed to think something was. And it was also discussing whether or not it would be a hate crime to do something to me. And they ultimately decided upon it's not a hate crime because I'm not dark-skinned. But just because they don't want to think of it as a hate crime doesn't mean they're actually going to do such a thing. However, if they did, it would just show what the numbers already show. And that's that the homeless are your go-to people to victimize when you don't get your way. Oh. I got a lot of anxiety and I got a lot of stuff to get done, just not enough time in a day. Really, I'd just like to be left alone. But no matter where I go, I gotta be worried that I'm not gonna be left alone because I don't own any property of my own. I almost did 4 different times. But then again, when you don't have family support, if something goes wrong, well, let me give you an example. Let's say you got yourself your bank, right? And you got to pay your rent. If you don't pay your rent, well, they're going to charge you $200. And you're also going to be charged $35 by the bank for anything that you didn't have to cover the bills with. So if you don't have the money, you're out $235 extra for not having the money. That's what being poor does, you know? Now let's say you're only $50 short of paying your bills. Either you got somebody that you can go to that'll loan you that $50 so that you can make the bills, or you got somebody who 6 months after you've lost it all go, hey man, I thought all you needed was $50. Here's $50. And you're like, well, $50 ain't quite gonna do it. You're ungrateful. No, I'm not being ungrateful. That's not being ungrateful. That's saying don't expect $50 to fix all my shit. Especially 6 months after when it could have done some actual good. I know so many people who the only reason that they have their vehicle and their house and everything that they have over their head, that they want to talk about how they earned it all by themselves. No, the fuck they didn't. Many of them wouldn't have gotten their first vehicle if it wasn't for mommy and daddy's credit. They wouldn't have been able to get into any sort of housing whatsoever without mommy and daddy first signing a piece of paper. Also, you don't stop to consider that while you're throwing the the job that you had at 15 years of age in my face, that, by the way, is illegal in most places. When I was 15 years of age, I had a job. I was in Nebraska. I did go to work every day. I worked for a lady named Janet Roberts, and I cleaned shitters at Cabela's. And my money went to making sure that my brothers and sister were fed. Hey, it happens. Some of y'all saying, oh, I had a job since I was 14. Beat that. This ain't a fucking pissing contest. When I was 14, I was locked the fuck up, motherfuckers. Yeah, we had jobs in there. Laundry day. When you got laundry day, unless you're the kids in special who get to keep their clothes, most of the time you're washing clothes en masse when it's laundry day. Or your job is, of course, washing the dishes for whoever's in the facility. And that is an all-day job when you're talking about having to, well, wash the dishes for everybody. First dishwashing job I ever had was at Mount St. Vincent's Home. It's a Catholic group home in Denver, Colorado. Damn nearly the same machine they had at Cheesecake Factory. Same stupid dangly thing on the spring. It's kind of like, kind of like the things on your shower, the ones that are detachable, except it's, instead of being detachable, it just kind of hangs there, pointing straight down. Also, you might notice I got a couple of water jugs here. There's no water in either one of them yet, but seems to me I'm gonna need them. They were on sale, not just on sale, but on super sale. They were cheap enough even a broke folk could afford them. Which is good because most of my money got spent making sure that I have beverages that were, well, I got stuff that was easy enough for me to carry just a little bit at a time. If I end up somewhere like Slab City, I'm worried about the water, yeah, but more so I'm worried about having containers to put the water in. Especially since a lot of the stuff that's out there I won't be able to necessarily disinfect. Also, with them youngins in there being rude, I figured I'd come out here and make sure I'm not being a nuisance to anybody. There's a lot of stuff people keep telling me to do. They keep telling me they'll take the time, and then they don't. Michelle, she hasn't looked at any of the stuff I've sent her since last Saturday. It's almost Friday, so it's been close to a week. I did get to work on a couple of my projects today, which is pretty cool. Just a little bit on a little miniature scale, but it's still better than nothing. I'm glad to have it. Some of the toys and gadgets and gizmos I got to work with recently are pretty cool. I got to figure out how to do something electronic without doing anything electronic. It's called a gyroscope, and there's a couple of different functions depending on the type of gyroscope. One of them is a magnetic north gyroscope, which is pretty cool. And one of them is based on gravity. The gravitic gyroscope is a control system that basically it electronically tells you which direction is north and which direction is south based on a fluid that's inside of a sealed container with different sensors in the container. And when that fluid is touching multiple sensors, it'll tell you basically what angle it's sitting at. But if you shake the machine real good, it gives you a little bit different answer. So one of the things that they do to control that is to put two different types of liquids in it. And one of them is gravatic and one of them is not. And I don't understand the dynamics behind that. But the mathematical symbols, I don't know what they mean. If I did know what they meant, then I might be able to understand it. But I didn't get a real thorough education in all of those mathematical symbols that are used in like advanced chemistry and shit. Another way to do it is with a lead weight. Now that one's pretty cool because there's something I called the Thor's hammer. It's something I designed for a boat that doesn't have multiple hulls, one that just has one hull. And basically, the worse weather you have, the more your boat's going to shift and rock and all that. And I figure, well, you could use a weight in there that'll rock like a pendulum, and you can use that both to help offset your ship, believe it or not. But you can also use it to power your ship. And that's whether you're rocking forward and backwards or back and forth, which is pretty cool. Some of the stuff that I've been learning about that the railroad was using in some of their old railroad machines, it's kind of cool how it's like one of them is a precursor to an automatic transmission almost. It'd just keep grinding until it finds the gear, but it's pretty cool. Other than that, I basically just came out here to avoid some people with a shitty attitude. In real life, I like to be an alright guy. I'm an asshole on the internet. I get it. You're welcome. Somebody gotta fight for our goddamn rights, even if it's just me. Each of these situations with the police, where the police fucked up real big, those cops are not irredeemable. That's where a lot of people are messing up, as they're assuming that this is a situation that is beyond repair, and it's truly not. Problem is, people have to be honest. Most of the folks I know got a problem with being honest. They're capable, it's just not likely, which is sad to say. Some of the stuff I've been learning about recently is really cool thermodynamically. I kind of got into learning about that a bit when I was younger, and then I reintroduced myself to it when my coffee lid shot my window out. That was a pretty cool effect, even if it was an uncool thing to have happen. Alright. I suppose since them youngins weren't assholes on the way out the door, I ought to be happy about that, and I actually am. Although I don't get to show what assholes they are, on the bright side, they knocked it off within just a couple of minutes, so I guess I can forgive them. Oh. Alright. I got a few things in here that are useful towards some of my projects. One of them I'm trying to put together for some folks down in Slab City. If I ever make it. And if I don't, well, fuck it. Ain't dead. Good to be radio. Thanks for coming to visit. Stay out of trouble or don't get caught. Remember, you are your brother's keeper and no victim left behind.